Cape Town. The city is known for its harbour, for its natural setting in the Cape Florestak region, and for landmarks such as Table Mountain and Cape Point. Cape Town is home to 49% of the Western Cape's population. The city was named the World Design Capital for 2014 by the International Council of Societies of Industrial Design. In 2014, Cape Town was named the best place in the world to visit by both the New York Times and the Daily Telegraph. Cape Town has also been a host city for both the 1995 Rugby World Cup and 2010 FIFA World Cup, and annually hosts the Africa leg of the World Rugby Sevens. Located on the shore of Table Bay, Cape Town, as the oldest urban area in the Western Cape, it was developed by the Dutch East India Company as a supply station for Dutch ships sailing to East Africa, India, and the Far East. Jan van Riebeek's arrival on 6 April 1652 established the VOC Cape Colony, the first permanent European settlement in South Africa. Cape Town outgrew its original purpose as the first European outpost at the Castle of Good Hope, becoming the economic and cultural hub of the Cape Colony. Until the Witwatersrand Gold Rush and the development of Johannesburg, Cape Town was the largest city in South Africa. The earliest known remnants of human occupation in the region were found at Pierce Cave in Fishhook, and date to between 15,000 and 12,000 years ago. Little is known of the history of the region's first residents, since there is no written history from the area before it was first mentioned by Portuguese explorer Bartholomew Dias in 1488, who was the first European to reach the area and named it Cape of Storms, using specially trained cattle. The Uriakua were one of the so-called Khoko clans of the area. In the late 16th century, French, Danish, Dutch and English, but mainly Portuguese, ships regularly continued to stop over in Table Bay en route to the Indies. They traded tobacco, copper and iron with the Khoko clans of the region, in exchange for fresh meat and other provisions. In 1652, Jan van Riebeek and other employees of the United East India Company were sent to the Cape to establish a way station for ships travelling to the Dutch East Indies, and the fort the Gode Hoop. The settlement grew slowly during this period, as it was hard to find adequate labour. This labour shortage prompted the authorities to import slaves from Indonesia and Madagascar. Many of these became ancestors of the first Cape-coloured communities, under Van Riebeek and his successors as VOC commanders and later governors at the Cape. An impressive range of useful plants were introduced to the Cape, in the process changing the natural environment forever. Some of these, including grapes, cereals, ground nuts, potatoes, apples and citrus, had an important and lasting influence on the societies and economies of the region. The Dutch Republic being transformed into revolutionary France's vassal Batavian Republic, Great Britain moved to take control of its colonies. Britain captured Cape Town in 1795, but the Cape was returned to the Dutch by treaty in 1803. British forces occupied the Cape again in 1806 following the Battle of Blouberg. In the Anglo-Dutch Treaty of 1814, Cape Town was permanently ceded to the United Kingdom. It became the capital of the newly formed Cape Colony, whose territory expanded very substantially through the 1800s. With expansion came calls for greater independence from the UK, with the Cape attaining its own parliament and a locally accountable Prime Minister. Suffrage was established according to the non-racial Cape Qualified Franchise. During the 1850s and 1860s, additional plant species were introduced from Australia by the British authorities, notably ruicrans to stabilize the sand of the Cape Flats to allow for a road connecting the peninsula with the rest of the African continent, and eucalyptus to drain marshes. In 1859, the first railway line was built by the Cape Government Railways, and a system of railways rapidly expanded in the 1870s. The discovery of diamonds in Griqualon West in 1867, and the Witwatersrand Gold Rush in 1886, prompted a flood of immigrants to South Africa. In 1895, the city's first public power station, the Graaf Electric Lighting Works, was opened. Conflicts between the Boer republics in the interior and the British colonial government resulted in the Second Boer War of 1899 to 1902, which Britain won. From 1891 to 1901, the city's population more than doubled from 67,000 to 171,000. In 1910, Britain established the Union of South Africa, which unified the Cape Colony with the two defeated Boer republics and the British colony of Natal. Cape Town became the legislative capital of the Union, and later of the Republic of South Africa. Prior to the mid-20th century, Cape Town was one of the most racially integrated cities in the South Africa. In the 1948 national elections, the National Party won on a platform of apartheid under the slogan of "Swart."